She threw the container and called my house a pigsty. That's when my husband made his choice. Her patience had finally run out. Emily had kept quiet for years, turning a blind eye to Amber's greed. But that silence ended the moment it affected her personally. What her sister-in-law pulled today went far beyond acceptable. Watching her pack up half the table for her friends while guests were still sitting there. No way. Emily had met Mark back in community college. They'd studied in the same group, worked side by side, and right after graduation they got married. Life went the usual way: a small apartment under a mortgage, home repairs, arguments and make-ups. Despite her gentle nature, Emily could never find common ground with Mark's family. She knew in her mind that you can't choose your in-laws. His mother, Linda, was a textbook overbearing mother-in-law, full of sighs, unsolicited advice, and criticism. And his sister, Amber, was a different kind of creature entirely. Bold, calculating, with cold eyes and that ever-present greedy smirk. Over the years, Emily had noticed one thing at every family gathering: if Amber left empty-handed, something was wrong. Usually, she went home with a bag full of leftovers, often half-empty bottles included. Linda would practically pack her food like for a road trip. "Oh, you're not going to finish that?" Amber would ask with a grin, scooping up whatever wasn't nailed down. And it wasn't like they were struggling. Amber's husband Gary worked construction from dawn till dusk, and Amber herself had a steady job at a plant, with good pay. They owned their apartment, drove a decent car, and yet her greed was bottomless. Emily never said a word. If everyone else was fine with it, who was she to start trouble? She wasn't a coward. She just preferred peace over pointless arguments. Until, of course, it touched her directly. Emily got pregnant and later gave birth to their daughter, Sophie. A month after, they decided to have her baptized. Her best friend would be the godmother, and one of Mark's friends would be the godfather. A small, cozy gathering, that was the plan. Just a couple of dishes, nothing fancy. But Mark had other news. "My parents are coming too. Amber and Gary, Aunt Susan with her family, and Aunt Carol's joining us as well." Emily almost choked on her tea. "What's the occasion for this family reunion?" Mark looked serious. "It's our daughter's christening." "And what do your aunts have to do with it?" "Even my parents aren't coming." Mark rubbed the bridge of his nose. "You know how close our family is. And I've told you 1,000 times, we're barely making ends meet. And you went ahead and invited half the state." She squinted at him, connecting the dots. "Wait. It wasn't you who invited everyone, was it? It was your mother." Mark tried to calm her, gently stroking her hand. "Come on, babe, you know how it is. We can't offend them." Her eye twitched. Of course. His family's favorite tradition: eat, drink, and celebrate anything that moved. In Emily's family, gatherings were rare and meaningful. "But fine." Grinding her teeth, she said quietly, "Okay, for you. But this is the last time." "Promise," Mark said, relieved. She didn't doubt his good intentions. Mark was nothing like his loud, pushy relatives. He was gentle and kind, and that's what she loved about him. Preparing for the baptism feast drained her. Emily planned the menu, bought everything herself, and stayed up all night cooking. The table was packed with food. Her inner perfectionist wouldn't allow otherwise. The baptism went smoothly. The guests came later and praised everything: her tarts, homemade sausages, and 3 kinds of salads. Linda, of course, couldn't resist. "Finally, Emily, you've learned to cook like a proper woman." Emily wanted to snap back, but Mark squeezed her hand. "Please don't." Amber, who as usual came empty-handed, suddenly smiled sweetly. Mom, don't say that. Everything's delicious. Gary loved her signature salad. Oh, and setting up a separate kids' table was genius. Pizza, nuggets, fries. You really outdid yourself, Em. Everything seemed fine, until Emily's sharp hearing caught something. She stepped into the kitchen to slice some sausages and overheard Amber whispering on the balcony. "Yeah, we'll be there in 30 minutes. Don't bring food. They've got tons. Just bring drinks. Vodka, wine, whatever. There's enough food here to feed an army." "All right, see ya." Emily froze. The blood roared in her ears. She returned to the living room, sat down, and waited. She already knew how this would end, like watching a play you'd seen before. Minutes later, Amber came back inside and began to say her goodbyes. "Oh, the kids are tired," she said sweetly. "We'd better go, Gary." Then, calmly, she took out 3 giant plastic containers and began packing food right off the table. Cutlets, salads, tartlets, all in. The room fell silent. Mark turned red, staring at his plate. Linda finally broke the silence. "Take that chicken salad too, Amber. The kids will love it. And Emily, weren't there some pancakes left? Bring them out. Amber can take those as well." Amber kept packing. Emily's blood boiled. "Amber," she said evenly, "what are you doing?" Amber looked up, not even embarrassed. "Packing dinner. You've got so much food left, and this way Gary's got lunch for tomorrow." "So, you came to my daughter's baptism empty-handed and now plan to take half my table home in front of everyone?" Emily asked, standing up. Silence. Aunt Susan muttered, "Oh, Emily, don't mind it. Amber always takes food home. We're used to it." "You're used to this kind of robbery?" Emily shot back. Linda snapped, "She's got 2 kids, Emily. Don't make a scene over some salad." "Make a scene?" Emily's voice trembled with anger. "Aunt Julia's got 2 kids too, but I don't see her sweeping food off other people's tables." "Calm down," hissed Mark, tugging her sleeve. But Emily shook him off. "No, I won't calm down. This isn't me raiding someone's fridge." Linda stood up, face flushed. "How dare you call my daughter a thief? How dare she act like one?" Emily shot back. "Look at her. She's already packed 3 salads. Should I get you a spoon, Amber, to make it easier?" Amber, now furious, slammed the container shut. "You know what? Keep your food. I'm not eating in this pigsty anyway. It's all disgusting." "Oh, really? You seemed to enjoy it earlier," Emily retorted coldly. "Get out. All of you." Amber screamed. "Mark, you seeing this? You married a psycho. Out." Emily shouted so loud that their baby woke up crying in the next room. Linda's eyes burned with rage. "You'll regret this, Emily. Until you apologize, Sophie's no granddaughter of mine. If emotional blackmail is your version of family, then my daughter doesn't need that kind of grandmother," Emily replied icily. Half an hour later, everyone was gone. Mark turned to her, face tight with anger. "You embarrassed me, over a few cutlets." Emily stared at him in disbelief. "Are you kidding me? She looted our table in front of everyone. You could have talked to her later, quietly. Now Mom's hysterical, and my sister won't talk to me. Are you happy?" "Yes," Emily said quietly. "I am." They cleaned in silence that night. The air was heavy with hurt. When they finally lay in bed, she turned away. "I'm sorry," Mark whispered suddenly. "You were right. I should have stood up for you. I just grew up doing whatever they wanted. Amber's always been the golden child." His honesty melted the tension in her chest. "What happens next?" she asked softly. "I don't care," he murmured, wrapping his arm around her. "I've got you." The next day, consequences came. Linda called Mark and laid down her rule. He could attend family events, but only without his wife. Her birthday was around the corner, and Emily wondered what he'd do. When the day came, Mark helped Emily clean the house, then took Sophie out for a walk. She waited, certain he'd go to his mother's later. "Did you text your mom?" she asked around 5. "Yeah," he said, washing dishes. "You're not going?" "No. You and Sophie are my family. No one gives me ultimatums." Emily froze, touched beyond words. She hugged him tightly. "Thank you." Of course, in his family's eyes, it was her fault. She'd turned him against them. But Emily didn't care. What mattered was that their little family was finally at peace, and that was worth everything.